As a real estate wholesaler, what is the most important skill you can learn? Is it understanding the market? How to recognize a good deal? Is it negotiation skills? What about how to be a good networker? While those are all valuable skills for every wholesaler to master, none is the correct answer. The right answer is the skill of time management. Time is the most valuable commodity you can ever own, and the biggest mistake most wholesalers make is squandering this precious resource. There are two primary ways wholesalers waste time. One is working with low-grade prospects, and two, performing unnecessary due diligence. On this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid doing both of those time wasters, and here's my promise to you. As a wholesaler, the key to doing twice as many deals and making twice as much money with half the effort is to brutally protect your time. Let me show you how. First, as a wholesaler, you will spend 80% of your time sourcing and finding distressed property owners. And the first and biggest mistake wholesalers make is spending too much time with what I call low-grade prospects. A low-grade prospect is someone whose pain of keeping their property is not greater than the benefit of selling it. When that's the case, it's common for sellers to say, "Let me think it over," or "I need to talk to my spouse," as an excuse to not move forward. A high-quality prospect, on the other hand, is a distressed owner who's ready now to sell his unwanted property because the pleasure of getting rid of that unwanted property is greater than the pain of keeping it. Once you understand that, the best way to protect your time when dealing with sellers is to uncover a high-quality prospect from a low-grade prospect at the beginning of your sales conversation. The way to do this is by using what I call the upfront agreement method. Now, I learned this method years ago from my mentor, Peter Conti, who is a master at this technique. The upfront agreement method is merely you and the seller both agreeing upfront that you will both make a decision at the end of the conversation either to move forward or not move forward with the deal. The upfront agreement method instantly disqualifies unmotivated sellers and will save you hours, days, and weeks chasing after sellers who say they need to think it over, because here's the reality. 98% of all "let me think it over" prospects never convert to a yes. So it is in your best interest to get a no up front instead of a "let me think it over." Your goal is to get a yes or a no, but not a maybe. Now, following the upfront agreement method, you will drastically cut down your time with tire kickers, allowing you to spend more time with high-quality prospects. Following this method, like I said earlier, you'll do twice as many deals with half the effort. Here's what an upfront agreement would sound like with a seller. "You know what, Mr. Seller, before I share my offer with you, I would like to take a quick moment and get clear on something up front. If I present some ideas to you here today about your property that just don't work for you, are you okay being direct with me and just telling me straight up they don't work for you?" Okay, you are great. On the other hand, if I present some ideas here that you like that really meet your needs, are you okay telling me that too? Great, I promise to do the same thing with you too. If I feel that there is no way I can meet your needs and my needs, then I will let you know right away. And if I feel that doing business together will meet both of our needs, I'll let you know that too. What I promise not to do is leave you hanging. I promise not to say "I'll think it over" and leave you wondering where I stand. Is that okay with you? Great, and I'm going to ask for the same courtesy in return. I am perfectly okay with a no or with a yes. I am only asking for you to let me know if you want to move ahead with a deal or not. Is that fair? Are we in agreement on this? Great. One more thing. If you are happy with what you hear today, is everyone available to say yes to move forward, or would you need to talk to someone else? Now, if they respond with yes, their spouse will need to be part of the decision, then make sure they're both present prior to proceeding with your sales call. The upfront agreement method is the best way to protect your precious time when prospecting, because you'll quickly discover in the first few minutes if it's worth investing any more of your time on the phone. By the way, if you'd like to get this script as well as all of my seller scripts, including how to overcome objections, I'll give them to you for free. Just go to freesellerscripts.com to download that now. Now, the second most common way wholesalers mismanage their time is by performing unnecessary due diligence. Due diligence is the process of analyzing all of the information about the property to make sure it's a good deal. This includes looking at comparable sales to determine the value, doing a site visit to the property, and estimating repairs that need to be performed. Due diligence is necessary on every deal, and I've done several videos here on my channel about how to analyze deals so you know exactly what price to offer when wholesaling houses. I'll put the link to a great video in the description below that breaks it down step by step. The problem isn't doing due diligence, the problem is when to do due diligence. The mistake many wholesalers make is they spend hours and hours crunching numbers to get to the perfect offer. Then when they finally make the offer, it gets rejected and they wasted all of that time. Instead, learn how to lock up the property by getting an executed contract that allows for you to have a window of time to perform due diligence on the property. Now, the best way to do that is with an inspection contingency clause in your contract. By having an executed contract in place with an inspection contingency, the seller is committed to the deal and can't sell to anyone else, but you have time to make sure everything checks out and it's a good deal. If things are discovered during your due diligence that you are not aware of that affect the price in your contract, you can either renegotiate the price or cancel the contract. By the way, I've been perfecting my seller contract for nearly 20 years, and I'll give it to you for free. Just go to wholesalercontracts.com. I also have a price reduction and termination addendum that I'll also give you for free. I'll put those download links in the description box below for you. The point is to get a contract first and then perform due diligence. But always make sure you are 100% transparent with sellers about how and when you're performing due diligence. Here's what to say to a seller once you've agreed on price. Mr. Seller, now that we've agreed on price, let me explain the next step. I'm going to send you an agreement that goes over everything we discussed. Once you receive that, we'll review it together and then we'll both approve it. In that agreement, it gives me a window of time where I'll be able to conduct my due diligence. That means someone from my team will come out and look at the neighborhood and do a property walkthrough to make sure everything checks out. If for some reason we discover something that would affect our ability to move forward, we'll let you know right away. Does that sound fair? Now don't worry, that script is included with my other seller scripts. Again, to get my seller scripts for free, just go to freesellerscripts.com. Now the reason why you want to explain to the seller how due diligence works is to make sure you have clear expectations with the seller so there are no surprises later. That way the seller is aware upfront that you may have to renegotiate or cancel the contract if something undisclosed is discovered. Finally, using your time wisely is more a mindset than a skill set. In order to do high-level activities that make you money, you have to constantly reevaluate how you spend your time. Most people lie to themselves that being busy is the same as being productive, and they're not the same thing. Now, here are a few things I do to keep the right perspective about using my time wisely. Every day before you start working, take at least 5 minutes to think about your day. What's most important for you to accomplish today? Does your calendar reflect that priority? Set your phone to beep every hour, and when it does, ask yourself, is this, whatever you're doing, the best use of my time right now? At the end of the day, pause for 5 minutes and ask yourself, how effective was I today? And is there anything I want to do differently tomorrow? Now, something I remember learning from executive leadership coach Peter Bregman is he said, so often we think of time management as increasing our efficiency, but some of the most efficient people are not effective at time management. The key to being effective is to work on what's most important and leave everything else out. The truth is, wholesaling houses is hard and most people end up quitting early. So what I want you to do is watch this next video to discover the 7 reasons why most people quit wholesaling so you can decide if you should quit too. And I'll see you on the next video.